Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Tradewaiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, we're brothers, we read comics.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to episode 1000, I think.
Almost.
Right
around the corner, actually.
Closer than a quarter, which is crazy.
And we're not stopping until we get there.
We're not stopping until that happens.
Full speed ahead.
4 digits is what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
The quad digis, the Joe Rogan numbers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
And we're going to read every other comic book we've ever read, or that we haven't read yet, for 1000.
Yeah, and then just top it off.
Yep, and then that'll be it.
We'll have read all the comics by then.
It'll be a 20-hour episode.
Jesus. Because, think about how many, reboots would be from now and then, you know? And so,
so many.
But I guess it'd only take, a week to catch up. You know, on the newest Daredevil run, you know? Just do the first trade of that. Because we don't have to do the whole run. It's just the first trade.
First trade. That's true. Yeah.
It's going to be hard to keep thinking of, things to do for the 100th episodes.
Yeah, I know. We were struggling just for a third one.
I know. We're fucking read all of Superman. I don't know. Do we have to read 1,000 comics when we hit 1,000?
Yes.
So Batman 1 through 1,000?
Well, when was Batman's first appearance? It was Detective Comics
27.
So we go from 27 to 1,027. And that gets us through some Grant Morrison stuff, some Scott Snyder stuff.
Do all the stuff, yeah.
Through all the stuff. I think that's the only way.
Anyway, we talk about comics. We got different time codes in our description. We got the book, which is Daredevil, Volume 3. It's called Dark Art from Charles Soule's run.
Yes.
The first appearance of Muse. Muse will be making an appearance in the new Daredevil show.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we did this. We normally do Volume 1s.
But sometimes fuck you. That's why we did this.
I'm sorry. It works, okay? We got Back Matter Matters, if there is back matter.
Yeah, who knows? Tune in.
The poll list in, but we start with the news. Nathan, Tom Taylor signs a DC exclusive deal.
Whoa, good for him.
It seems like he's been doing a lot of DC stuff anyway.
I thought that he already was on one.
Maybe he renewed it. I don't know.
I think he renewed it. But wait, no, he was doing some Spider-Man recently, I thought. Or
there's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man that we read.
Maybe that's
that was
that's just
3 years ago.
Okay, yeah, you're probably right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, he said he was going to bring.
Well, he did Dark Ages, but that was also 2 years ago.
That was also a little bit ago. So, but he said he was going to bring he's going to do Dark Knights of Steel 2.
Oh.
So he's going to do more of that.
Well, it's the all winter one, right?
Yeah.
Or is there another one?
Another one. I think.
Wow. Okay.
And then I forget what else.
Pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. I gotta be honest, my phone's been fucked up, and I haven't been able to screenshot any news or anything. So this is an all
you just raw dogging it.
This is all you week.
Oh, really? Okay, there's not a lot. You could also write down some of that stuff.
I don't know how.
In your notes?
I only know how to type.
Or type it in your notes?
Oh, okay. Well, I'll think about that next time.
I was looking at. I set up a Substack, and I was looking at Zdarsky's releases.
Ooh.
And he's got Fantastic Four, Fate of the Four, coming April 1st. That is a collection of his Marvel 2-in-1
cool.
series. It's 12 issues and an annual. I didn't realize how long it was.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's good?
Yeah, it's good. I've read it.
Cool.
Yeah, it starts off with
That's coming out.
There's a couple good artists that are on there. I know Declan Shalvey does the annual, which has some Doom stuff in there. And I think Jim Chung does most of the art for that.
Nice.
But it's really cool. Very unique, just because it's just the Thing and Human Torch that are in it. And they're trying to figure out what happened to Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman.
Spoilers, Nathan.
That's the pitch. That's the pitch of the book.
He's got his upcoming signings on here, and he's got Mexico City in March, and I just think that's funny.
What are you doing here?
Oh yeah, how's he gonna handle the
heat?
The heat. He's also coming to Phoenix in June, but also just the language barrier. How's he gonna?
Oh yeah.
He'll just hear Batman, and be oh, that's me. Yep.
I did a Batman, and then he'll just doodle a little Batman.
Yeah. What else we got? New Marvel series, The Vision and Scarlet Witch. A
I did see this.
5-issue limited series.
Steve Orlando, Russell Dowderman, I believe, or he's just doing the cover.
Lorenzo Tomeda and Jacopo Camagni.
Cool. Just kidding. Russell Dowderman's doing the covers then.
Yeah, going on sale May 21st.
Cool.
So that's neat, I guess.
That should be kind of cool. I mean, we haven't really seen them be like a couple or whatever.
I guess it's the 50th anniversary of their wedding.
They had a wedding?
I guess so.
Whoa.
Well, at some point, yeah.
Is that in a trade? For when I get married later this year, we could do that one.
Ooh.
I wonder if any drama happened.
I bet it's like one issue and then like there's stuff around it.
What did we do for your wedding again?
Dude, we did Deadpool's wedding.
We should probably do the Spider-Man one for mine. We only got one more chance at this, dude. We got to pick the right one.
I like the Deadpool one. It worked.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Scott Koblish, he commented on our post. Say congratulations.
Oh, nice. My goat.
Nathan, I know you like a list.
I like a list.
You like a list of the top 50 comic books by unit of 2024.
By unit?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like just individual issue?
How many units were pushed?
Oh,
Nathan?
okay. All right. Yeah, let's see. Wait, of 2024?
2024, all of last year.
Absolute Batman, number 1.
That is number 1, Nathan. What is number 2?
Aliens versus Avengers.
That is 29.
Ooh, wow. Jonathan Hickman fell off.
It's still like top 50. Which is
Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man, number 2. What is number 3, Nathan?
Oh, God. Ultimate Superman?
Ultimate Superman, Nathan?
Yeah.
There's not a book.
Sorry, Absolute Superman.
That is correct. You're on a roll.
Oh, my
Nathan.
God.
Keep it rolling. You're not going to get 4, though.
Oh,
what is number 4?
Batman, number 148.
Nope.
What is it?
Absolute Batman, number 2.
God damn it.
which is pretty crazy.
I'm surprised I got the top 3. I'm not going to...
How about number 5, Nathan?
Is it a number 1?
Correct.
Absolute Wonder Woman.
Correct.
Hey.
What about number 6?
Is it Marvel?
Yep.
The Ultimates.
Nope. Ultimate is 21.
Absolute Power? No one really cared about that, though, I feel like.
Absolute Power, number 1 is number 40.
Damn. I'm surprised. Okay, I don't know then. What is it?
X-Men, number 1.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's probably.
In the top, at number 10, there is an Image comic book, number 1. Would you like to guess?
No.
G.I. Joe, number 1.
Really? Wow, people fucking love G.I. Joe, I guess.
I guess.
Damn, any surprising ones in there?
There is a couple. Number 31, Thundercats, number 1.
Okay,
from Dynamite
cool.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
All right,
People have nostalgia for that, I guess.
For sure. At number 37, Batman 142.
Okay.
Which is the first issue of that Joker year one.
Yep. That makes sense.
I
figured one of the...
But this list is riddled with ultimate, absolute, number one.
And they did good at marketing it, you know?
Yeah, they did pretty good, I guess.
Both of them did, surprisingly well with both marketing it and getting a good team behind it to make it pretty interesting.
What rank do you think TMNT got?
Ooh, it's probably top 25. I'm gonna say it's 22.
15.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good. I like TMNT.
Yeah, but going from 7, it's Spider-Man, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men, Spider-Man, Wolverine.
I'm saying those are oh, okay, yeah.
Spider-Man,
Wait, Wolverine with Greg?
No, that's
or just regular Wolverine.
Regular Wolverine?
Yeah.
Whoever's on that. Is that Ben Percy?
Ben Percy, I think.
I feel like he only does Wolverine. So
I don't think he's ever done anything else.
It's a good guess.
He did Green Arrow once, and then he's just been Wolverine.
Yeah, and so it's just
that's cool. I mean, yeah, they did good. They deserve to be there. So it's just
the
also
first
such
12
an accessible...
issues of Ultimate Spider-Man were in the top 50.
Good.
That's crazy.
I mean, I read up to 4 or 5, and I want to continue. They come out so damn fast. Was Ultimate X-Men on there?
Ultimate X-Men number 12. Uncanny X-Men number 1.
Wait, what?
Uncanny X-Men.
Right, that was number 12 on the list?
That was number 8.
What about Ultimate X-Men, like the Peach Momoko one?
Number 12.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just something to be said about having good, accessible sort of jumping on points or having creative talent on stuff that can just do whatever they want. It would yield a good book. Big big surprise.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I like seeing those lists.
Yeah. I also saw that
They're also like not very like exciting to me, but they are like the most marketable, you know?
some of them are pretty exciting for me
Yeah.
because, you know, Ultimate Spider-Man I didn't think I was going to like as much as I did,
Yeah.
just because it was genuinely like pretty interesting what they were doing with it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, all the Absolute stuff I've just been, it just seems like the most hell yeah kind of comics. So
Sure.
And they are. So I like it a lot. But other news that I saw, there's like 30 companies that are bidding for Diamond who just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So it's
Yeah.
going to be picked up probably by some company.
Did you know any of them, or did they list that?
They didn't list it, but they said there's like about 30 companies that are,
Yeah, it's probably
bidding
just some
for it.
sort of like
even if it's,
conglomerate kind of thing to like absorb it, you know?
Yeah.
But could also keep it going.
even if they plan on stripping it for parts, I guess that could be a thing that happens. But I assume they're going to pick it up to continue what they're doing. But
Yeah.
I just don't know how that's going to affect the market. So interesting. Could be good or bad. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. What book are we read this week, Nathan?
Daniel, we read Daredevil Volume 3 of Charles Soule's run. I don't know what like edition of Daredevil this is, you know? You know, there's like,
Oh, they call thause the volumes or whatever.
yeah, it's like those are like each
put,
run is volume.
I just put
but
2015 is
yeah,
when it started.
2015 Daredevil Volume 3.
This contains.
It's called Dark Art. That's what the trade is called, and it's by Charles Soule, Ron Garney, Matt Milla, and Clayton Calles.
This contains issues 10 through 14.
Yes, and we decided to read this because Daredevil Born Again's going to be coming out, and in the trailer we saw Muse, who is a character that Charles Soule created in this run.
And this is his first appearance.
This is his first appearance we're reading, and we get his origin. Pretty fucking cool. What'd you think? Just kind of in general.
Yeah, it was like about what I expected, but it was like a good read.
Yeah.
Charles Soule's really good at writing like a self-contained arc.
Yeah,
which is
I noticed
good.
that too.
I didn't feel confused at all. I didn't feel like lost in continuity.
Okay,
Like jumping into the third volume.
Yeah.
So I'd almost feel confident like picking up like any,
Just like
trade
random.
of Charles Soule's run and being okay, you know.
Yeah.
So this could be good for like a new read. Like that format and doing it that way is good for new readers to just kind of jump on, you know.
Yeah, of the Daredevil that I've read, Charles Daredevil feels like the most Daredevil that's been like kind of in continuity almost.
Okay.
Because there's like stuff happening, and I think Daredevil feels like he's in continuity because some of the stuff that was happening in Marvel continuity was being run by Charles Soule at the time, but there's like Inhuman stuff happening, and he was like writing Inhumans and kind of spearheading a lot of that. But he manages to find a way to make it very natural for Daredevil to like be in there and be a part of the universe, where I feel like a lot of Daredevil runs just feel like it's just Daredevil in this universe almost, like unless they see like a random Spider-Man appearance or something. But this I think he did a really good job of kind of portraying what was going on in Marvel at this time, and then also making a really compelling character. And yeah, but I also agree that you can just hop on and read this book and you won't be super lost, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if I felt that way rereading this because I've read most of this run, but yeah, I feel like a lot of his trades kind of feel that way.
Yeah, that's why we always do volume ones to have like a good starting point, but this definitely fits into that category too.
But
and the art fucking rules.
The art is so good.
I was like, I love this all.
Yeah, and even if we did just jump in and do random trades, it's kind of fun just kind of jumping in and being like kind of lost with what's going on.
Yeah,
because whenever you start reading ongoing comics, you kind of just have to deal with whatever's going on,
especially
in
Marvel.
the universe. Yeah, for Marvel or DC, you know, like,
but like Marvel, like it just like keeps going.
Marvel,
you know?
Yeah, Marvel, it's like very ingrained because like if you were jumping right now and you're like, what the hell is Doom up to right now? Because there's like one world under Doom going on.
Yeah,
and you have to be like, I don't know, I'll try and put the pieces together. DC kind of feels that way too because they just had that like absolute Darkseid's dead thing they had going on, and that's affecting a couple people. But yeah, I think this is really good. So I was surprised at how much I forgot about this. but then the big moments I was like, that was fucking crazy. So yeah, it's cool. But yeah, so just quick continuity check-in as best as I could remember. This is just off the dome.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So Well, I wrote down it, but I didn't look.
If I was confused, I was going to go back and read like the first 9, but I didn't really think it was necessary, honestly.
No, yeah, there's like one like pretty cool villain that happens, and then you kind of see. Anyway, here's like what's going on. So Daredevil, I think he was like the district attorney or something, or at least higher ranking of a lawyer. Or Matt Murdock was, not Daredevil, but
Well, he had a private practice, didn't he?
he did have a private practice, but then he was like working for the district attorney, or was district attorney. There was something that happened where everybody knew Daredevil's identity, and then he figured out a way to reset that. And I think it had to do with like the Purple Man or something. But basically now he's at the DA office, and he got like demoted down to this like sort of lower rank in that office, and he was thrown into like the closet of like the DA office because he's blind. And so people were like, I guess he won't mind.
Isn't it like an elevator shaft?
Yeah, elevator shaft. It's just like a small space that like a lawyer wouldn't work out of.
Yeah.
And they put him in there because he's blind, which is kind of fucked up. But also, Blindspot is Daredevil's sidekick, and Daredevil saved Blindspot from this mob villain named Ten Fingers, which was like the first trade of this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Terrigen Mist floating around the world, which is a thing that turns people into Inhumans if they have the Inhuman gene. But normally you'd have to be like living with Inhumans to like become Inhuman and get their powers. But something blew up New Attilan, where all the Inhumans live, and so now it's just like this big cloud of like Terrigen Mist that's just kind of going around the world and randomly turning people into Inhumans.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they were doing this because they didn't have the rights to X-Men. Like the movie people didn't have the rights to X-Men, and I think those studios were trying to make Inhumans more popular so they could make an Inhumans thing, but then they fucked that up. So
they have the Terrigen Mist, or like a cloud, just kind of go around the city, turning all these people, creating a bunch of characters and stories.
Pretty much, yeah. And they were trying to just like make a bunch of essentially X-Men pop up around so that they could do interesting things with them.
And now they just totally like cut off Inhumans, and then and now they're even turning Inhumans into X-Men.
It's fucking awesome. The amount of like cultural erasure or whatever you call it that's happening for Inhumans in Marvel is so funny because they just completely bailed on it.
What sucks is like I think Inhumans as like a concept, and then like some of the imagery is like so cool.
There's a lot of good Inhuman stuff.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of a bummer that's like just being like pushed out.
Especially like Charles Soule stuff he had really compelling Inhuman stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of it feels like X-Men, but more royal and sort of more political at times, and I kind of enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah, that seems cool.
Yeah, so.
Have we done any Inhumans?
I don't think so.
Shit.
We did Miss Marvel. She's an Inhuman. Not anymore, though. So I guess we haven't. Anyway, so let's get into the book. It's issue...
Our episodes got rebooted, isn't it?
Yeah, true. So we got to go to issue 10 for the start of this trade. Daredevil's in his black and red suit. He's doing his normal thing while Matt Murdock works at the DA's office with his assistant Sam, who is secretly Daredevil's sidekick, Blindspot. But while Matt Murdock works on some like night court cases that he was assigned to, Blindspot patrols New York, and he finds a crime scene that contains a dead body and a painting that was done with only blood. So painted blood on this like piece. And it was staged at like an art museum randomly. And when Daredevil shows up to kind of check it out, he can tell that the painting has the blood of over 100 people in it. And that's kind of the first issue essentially. But Daniel, first question, most important, what do you think of the suit?
The black suit?
It's a black and red suit.
Pretty fire.
Pretty fire.
I don't know if I'd appreciate it in live action.
I was going to say the same thing. I think this only works because of Ron Garney doing the art for it.
Yeah.
He manages to make it interesting.
Because then it would just look like two Batman, you know?
Yeah.
In like live action. Like there are like red accents, like his like gloves and his boots and stuff.
Right.
But my go-to is just like the all red.
Yeah. All red, I think definitely best for live action. But I think it works here because of how Ron Garney does like the shading of it. And the shading's like in all white, which I think is kind of an interesting take.
That's just an artistic thing that he's doing there.
Right.
And
so but I like that aspect of it. And I like that the red and like the like wrist strap things and his boots, like those parts of it really pop. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Maybe as like a stealth suit, I guess it could work. You know, like it seems like in the show he might pull out the yellow suit again and have like the red suit a little bit. So if like
I hope it stays
for some reason he
suit.
needs to be like unseen, the black could work. But
But I hope he keeps the red because it's ridiculous. If he's trying to go stealth, then he just keeps the red. And then we have this Blindspot character. And I've always really, really liked Blindspot. I think it's kind of a highlight of this run.
I think I read the first trade of this run because what you were saying is like ringing a bell for me. And the trade cover looks familiar. And I've read something with Blindspot in it.
Yeah, he's cool. I think he's a good apprentice.
Or it might have been, there's like a Daredevil versus Punisher book. And I think it's during this time.
Yeah.
And I think Blindspot was in that.
That sounds right.
So maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But Blindspot's cool because basically his deal is that he has a suit and he like pushes a button and he turns invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's kind of a cool apprentice for Daredevil because when he's training him on how to fight and stuff, Daredevil's blind, so he could like still see him perfectly fine.
Yeah, to him.
Yeah. And so he kind of teaches him how to fight even when he's like in a situation that he's not used to. And I think that's kind of cool.
How to fight when he thinks he's invisible, but he can still be seen.
When he thinks he has the upper hand, essentially. So I think it's cool training. And then the character himself is an undocumented immigrant, and Matt Murdock is obviously a lawyer, so he's kind of helping him out in those situations.
Yeah, because he works for Matt,
right?
But he doesn't know Matt's Daredevil.
Yeah,
which is crazy. So he sees this dude funny. Like 24 hours a day.
Yeah, and you think like if he's calling him on the phone because he calls Daredevil and then he calls Matt Murdock like at different points, and I'm like, you don't think that's the same person?
Daredevil voice?
Yeah, he probably just does like a little low voice.
Then what if it's the same fucking phone? Like.
He just maybe
Daredevil / Matt Murdock.
Yeah, does he have two phones then? I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so maybe he's like, oh, I let Daredevil borrow my phone at night.
Well, maybe he just gave him like a WhatsApp phone number or something.
Oh yeah, you can have two numbers.
Yeah.
I
think that's probably what.
That's fucking hilarious.
But Charles Soule also being on Daredevil is awesome because he used to be a lawyer, and I think definitely it's like the strongest like lawyer aspect of Daredevil I think I've ever read.
Yeah, he knows the grind
because he makes like interesting sort of superhero lawyering sort of situations.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he's a really good fit. But
there's the first panel. It says 1 a.m. I think.
No, I am.
It is I am.
Or no, 1 a.m. Yeah, you're right.
But I thought it said I am, and I was waiting for it to say Daredevil somewhere. But also, it's like not even dark.
Yeah.
But I guess to him, it wouldn't be dark.
I think that's just his vision.
Because then later, we get like a 3 p.m. when he's like at work, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that must be what it is.
So I felt kind of dumb.
I didn't even...
They need to choose a different font if they're going to put a 1 in there, you know?
Make it like a really clear 1.
Yeah.
You know? I think Blindspot's suit looks really cool. And then there's this painting at the end that's...
He kind of just looks like a samurai or something. And he's got like a hockey mask on.
He's very ninjak. Which nobody who reads this knows who Ninjak is, I'm pretty sure. But that's kind of just what he looks like.
You don't even know who Ninjak is.
I barely know who Ninjak is. But he looks like that. But I think I like the mask with like the hair combo.
The mask is helpful, yeah.
And then there's this blood painting. And I'm confused about that. Because I don't think blood has that level of contrast to where you'd be able to make a painting like this. But the painting itself, I was actually kind of impressed by.
Well, maybe like it different aged or like as it oxidates it gets to different colors,
different clot levels of blood maybe,
and
but
then
some of it's like pretty bright, so
maybe everyone's blood is like this same,
maybe if you mix it with water.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but the painting itself is pretty impressive.
It just looks like some weird shit.
Well, it feels like this would be something that like is at an art museum, and he has to draw this like multiple times. And so I'm surprised at like the level of detail that he went into.
Oh yeah, I didn't even really think about that.
Because like when you first see it, it's like this big moment, and it's like a double page spread, and it's full kind of art, and then he has to draw it again in different pieces multiple times. So it's that must have been really tough to just like draw that initially. I guess
and then if he's like a digital artist,
he might be. I don't even know.
You could like cut it and then just kind of morph it to different angles,
or maybe like the colorist does that. Maybe he just did it the one time. And you can get like a straight on shot of it. And then going forward, he probably just puts like, angled pieces of the canvas that they can fit to it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about that. But pretty cool.
Or he grinds it out and did it.
You could, yeah. Because I do think Ron Garney does like pencils. Like I don't think he's a digital artist. But yeah, that's pretty much that issue. So issue 11.
Did you see this Marvel Tsum Tsum variant?
Yes. Do you know what a Tsum Tsum is?
Well, I think I pronounced it correctly. I think it's just like a plushie thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they have like a.
There's like a Spider-Man one and like a Miles Morales
I think
one.
there's like an all Tsum Tsum book. It's like a one shot or
Yeah.
something.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Dude, that could be a whole month is like weird product placements.
We got
Tsum Tsums, Marvel Rivals.
oh dang, just spin off things.
Yeah. Like the Fortnite one, the KFC comics. We just figure out where all those are. Or the Snickers ones, I mean. No, there was like a full KFC one, wasn't there?
There's like a Flash one, I remember.
Yeah.
I had like a digital version of it. I think it's still on my Kindle if I scroll down.
Remember the FaZe Clan Batman comic?
No.
You know? Yeah, me neither. Didn't buy it. Issue 11. So the owner of the art museum where the blood painting is selfishly opens the blood piece up to the public for a cost so that he could benefit from it, despite the police and even a councilwoman trying to get it to shut down. That night, when he's about to open, the piece is discovered to be erased by the killer, and he writes an address for the spot of his next art piece to be displayed. So Matt, Murdock, and Sam go to the address and find that it has a bunch of like Inhuman bodies that have been staged like statues doing like normal human tasks. And Daredevil senses that the killer is nearby, and he confronts him on top of the roof. And that's the cliffhanger for this issue. So we see Muse for the first time. They're calling him like Vincent Van Gogh until he like tells everybody that his name is Muse.
Boo.
But yeah, sounds a little bit corny. But the name Muse is pretty cool. But this design of him, I remember reading it for the first time, and I'm like, that is pretty fucking cool.
It's like cool, but then like you kind of look at it, and I'm like, I think they're trying to just really make something different. Like, give him a beanie. Give him
Beanie's
some.
cool.
Get him suspenders.
Yeah, well, you got to make him look like an artist, you know, at the same time.
Yeah, and then
Cause
does he have a backpack on or something?
I don't know. I think this is just I think he does have a backpack on. I don't know. Maybe that's like where he keeps his brushes.
Maybe it attaches to suspenders.
Yeah, could be it too. But I like
and
this.
And then he's got the like this blood looking design on him.
Yeah, like a splotch thing on his chest.
And I think and his eyes are like red.
Yeah. His eyes are like red and black and like tearing blood trails like down his face.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
So it's very scary. Like I think in the show they're just doing normal eyes, you know?
I think they should do
that could look so corny if like they do some sort of weird swirly red eyes.
Oh, that's fine. But did they not have the blood streaks?
There's the streaks there.
Oh, okay.
On like the mask or whatever.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't think they should do this like weird swirly thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the design's cool. Pretty unsettling for like a big 2 book, I would say, for like a villain.
I guess it does look like what a artist villain would look like.
Yeah.
You know? And the concept alone is really cool.
It's like he's like a Banksy, but he's like a murderer kind of deal.
Yeah, this is what Banksy murderer would look like.
Yeah, exactly. So I think they nailed the design. And I also think it's cool how Muse views himself as an artist. So like if you were a murderer and you kill someone, you wouldn't like go back to the crime scene. You know, that's like not a thing that actually happens, I guess Daredevil said. But this guy views himself as an artist, so he wants to gauge the reaction of people like viewing his art, which is why Daredevil's able to like point him out. And I thought that was kind of a cool thing.
I like this Inhuman thing.
Yeah.
A lot. Because like the painting, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's cool. And then I don't know how many I was expecting really. How many like art pieces?
Yeah.
But it's not just like paintings and stuff. Like he'll do like different things, like these like sculpture. And I know they're people, but like he staged like all these people.
Yeah, I don't know how he managed to do that. But yeah, this is like a sort of a walk-in sort of art exhibit thing. And there's an Inhuman like on the toilet, or like one's ironing a shirt and stuff like that. Pretty unsettling. I think the first piece was cooler just because I didn't expect the painting to look like that, but this is cool too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the big moment where that like painting was erased and then he puts the address of like where his next thing is going to be.
Yeah,
that's a cool moment as well. So pretty neat.
Because there was like the moral part of showing this piece of work that is just the blood of murdered people,
a bunch of victims
for like a profit. It's just kind of fucked. But then I'm like, I guess people want to see it, you know?
People would see it. I believe that people would see it. With how many people, you know, listen to like crime podcasts and things like that, like they're very interested in what I guess serial killers kind of produce. or what they do. And so if you're able to like see one up close, I'm sure people would see it, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, how do you feel about the name Muse?
I like it. You don't like it?
Dude, I was going through Muse's like discography, and they got some fucking bangers.
They do. I saw them live. It was awesome.
You saw them live?
Yeah.
When the fuck was that?
I saw them with Evanescence. We were there for Evanescence.
Oh, dude, that fucking rules.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good concert.
Yeah.
I had so many beers.
That sounds sweet.
But yeah, Muse was cool seeing them live. They have a big production thing that they do.
Yeah, I guess like
some bangers.
A muse is like used in art, I guess. Or
I don't know what a muse is.
It's kind of like a person who is kind of like an inspiration for like art in a way.
Oh.
So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Okay. Interesting. I think it's a little self-conceited for this Muse guy to call himself that.
Yeah, so he's the muse?
I guess so.
For himself?
For art? I don't know. Issue 12. So Muse gets away with like a fake explosive thing that he has. So he's able to escape Daredevil. And at the new crime scene, there's like a bunch of Inhuman cops that are there doing forensics and identifying the Inhumans. And there's this guy named Frank McGee, who is a cop from New York, turned Inhuman from the Terrigen Mists. And his power is that he can like 3D snapshot a crime scene with his eyes and just like go look at it later, I guess, which is kind of cool. But Frank gets Daredevil a meeting with Medusa for help finding the killer because Inhumans are involved now. And when Medusa says no to Daredevil, Daredevil refuses to leave. He gets into a fight with Karnak for a little bit. And then after that, Sam calls Daredevil to say that Muse has made like another appearance and he's like in the courtroom with him right now.
I like how Medusa's drawn here.
Yeah, she's drawn in a very interesting way.
It almost seems like it's Ron Garney's paying tribute to like Jay Lee artwork.
Yeah,
you know?
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Because she's got like this
sort of
like headdress kind of thing that's coming from her mask, and
yeah,
like
it seems very like
her eyes are far apart, and
that's a Jay Lee style for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I like the crown thing that she has. It's very Hela, but for like Inhumans.
Right.
That's pretty cool. This is like when Karnak went through a big redesign, and
great redesign.
So probably the best redesign because he looked like a fucking doofus before, and then he
now
like
he looks hard as hell.
And then he just like got this redesign, and he had this solo series for Karnak, and it just has like the most aura out of like any redesign I think I've ever seen. And that book is good.
Was that his first?
I think it's his first solo.
Is that when the redesign was introduced?
I don't know if it was because of the Karnak series or if they were just sort of trying to reinvigorate the Inhuman sort of line in general.
Was that Warren Ellis?
Yeah, it was that Warren Ellis run. That fucking dude. And then I can't remember who does the art on it, which kind of sucks. I'm gonna look it up. But I remember I read it and I was like kind of knocked on my ass with how good it was.
But like being like your power is like finding people's weaknesses or like weak spots and stuff like that. I'm like, that's so cool.
Zafino, and then David Aja did covers on it, which is cool.
Oh yeah, that's
Jorge Zafino.
Did you see?
He's great.
David Aja's cover for Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
fire.
Oh my god, why is that guy not doing books anymore? He did
well,
this. He did the Seed.
The Seed, yeah.
I read the first issue and I was confused and scared, and so I didn't.
This is an alien book or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
It was like
it looked good.
Yeah, it was just like kind of an aura book in a way, like the art wise.
Yeah, but
it was like such a vibe.
He's so good.
But yeah, like I saw that cover, I'm like, I want a poster of this. This is so sick. It looks
That'd be such a good poster.
It looks like a t-shirt. Looks like an album cover.
Oh my god! Yeah.
A movie poster.
He's really good at that, dude. I'm so glad that he had to run on Iron Fist because whenever there's a new Iron Fist, he gets a cover on it.
Oh really?
And it's awesome. So I try and collect.
Did we read that?
We did.
Oh no!
Immortal Iron Fist.
What happened in it?
Okay, so there's an Iron Fist, but he has guns. Do you remember that?
No.
There's an Iron Fist before Danny Rand.
Can he power up his guns?
He powers up his guns and they shoot chi. No, I don't think that's the case.
Chi bullets.
But like it's mainly like him kind of jumping around New York, and there's like a murder that happened, and then he finds out the murder was from like a different Iron Fist, I believe. And then at the end of the book, he finds out that there's like multiple Iron Fists that have happened for like generations. And there's somebody that's going around and like, or he finds out that they've always been killed when they turn 30 years old. And the book ends when Dana Rand like turns 30. And so he's like, shit, I'm gonna die.
Did that one have like that King Cobra guy
Yes.
who has like the chest tattoo or whatever?
Yeah, King Cobra. And it's like that fat guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's his name.
Or
it might be King Cobra. The guy that was in Hitmonkey.
Hitmonkey, yeah.
That book's good, by the way. We only read the first trade, but it really picks up when there's like a...
Did that have Ed Brubaker writing it?
Ed Brubaker, Matt Fraction.
Oh,
it's good. I'm surprised you don't remember.
What a duo. Yeah, dude, honestly, just like some stuff, if it doesn't like hit me, like it'll just kind of go away.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Hold on.
I think it had a longer name.
It was like Cobra of a... Yeah, it's not King Cobra.
Fat Cobra.
Fat Cobra.
It wasn't a longer name, but yeah, Fat Cobra.
It's a shorter name, actually.
Yeah, so there's like... In different universes, they all have an Iron Fist, and then they all fight each other in like this Mortal Kombat tournament.
Wow.
After that, it's really fucking cool. And then you see all of the... You remember in the book when he would do like a move and you'd call it something ridiculous, and then it was just like him doing a different type of like fight move?
I remember something.
There's a bunch of that in the tournament, except there's like Queen of Spiders or something like that, and she's doing crazy shit. I like it. I want to reread it actually, because I think I have the hardcover of it.
Yeah, because what was that run, like 12 or 18 or something like that?
Went to like 24, I want to say.
Oh, you have like all of it in a trade?
I have the first volume.
Oh, okay.
And then there was like a Immortal Weapons book, and I haven't read that one yet.
Oh, okay.
Where it explores all of them. But anyway,
Cool.
Daredevil, Daniel. There's this Frank McGee character, and he's definitely like a side character, but I actually kind of find him pretty interesting because he has like roots of being like a New York cop, but now he kind of has roots in New Attilan because he's like an Inhuman now, and he's working for like the royal people.
Yeah.
But he still kind of low-key helps Daredevil try and figure out this whole Muse situation. So I think like his situation in particular is kind of interesting.
Yeah, because I think he was like cast out because he was like an Inhuman.
Yeah, exactly.
At the precinct or whatever.
And he likes being a cop. And
in 20 years?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And he's got the most useful fucking cop power you could possibly have, by the way.
Do you get powers that are accustomed to your job or something?
No, you just got lucky, I think.
Like, does a painter like never get it on the ceiling, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, because we saw a different Inhuman power, and he just can like make snowflakes. He's that.
Oh, it's just like a random dude.
Yeah, random dude. So I think a lot of the Inhuman powers were just like random useless powers. Like there was a person that could hold their breath for like an hour, and that was their superpower.
Pretty good.
And you realistically, that's probably what would happen if you're just randomly getting turned into superheroes all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, not every power is going to be cool and useful.
So Medusa is not helping.
Yeah.
Because
she wants to
like solve it for the Inhumans or whatever,
and
sure that they can, you know, protect them, I guess.
Yeah. Which
I like get, but why not work together? You know?
Yeah. And then New Attilan, it's not like a floating city anymore. It's just outside New York, which is kind of funny to me.
Is it still floating or no?
It's just floating. I think it's floating. Yeah, it's like floating just outside New York, like right next to Ellis Island.
So it is a floating city.
I think so. Well, like not floating in the air. Because it used to float in the air. It used to be like on the moon, I think.
Yeah, I thought it like was on the moon. Like
it was on the moon, and then it was in a mountain.
Like it parked there.
It was in this like mountain, I think, at one point. I don't know. Shit's crazy. But it being just outside New York, I think would be kind of scary if you could like see it. Like if you go to see Ellis Island and you see
that'd be terrifying.
This like giant castle city thing just outside there, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on in there?
Yeah.
You know? Issue 13. These covers, by the way, are really good in this book.
Yeah, they're fire. All of them are cool.
So Muse takes the judge from the courtroom and he runs off with him. Blindspot follows Muse into a sewer where Muse has other victims that are about to be killed as a part of his next art piece about like the whole judicial system, I guess. But Blindspot and Muse, they like fight, but Blindspot's able to slip away and he starts directing the hostages out from the sewers, but Blindspot is still stuck in the sewers with Muse, and Daredevil isn't able to get to him.
Yeah, he's about to escape, like out of a manhole, but
he gets grabbed.
He grabs him
because his battery ran out of power, and so he couldn't go invisible anymore. So cool action double page spread in here. With,
that was fun.
The two of them, I like that a lot.
With the windy panels.
Yeah, windy panels.
It kind of looks like the old like Microsoft logo.
Oh yeah, it kind of does. That was their best logo.
Probably.
The like Windows 7 one.
Yeah, the 4-panel thing is a little boring.
Yeah. And then there's a line from Muse that I actually think is pretty good in this, but he's talking to his victims about his next art piece, and he's trying to figure out what he wants to do because he doesn't really know yet. And he says, symbolism is tricky. It's a fine line. Too little and no one gets the point, but too much and it's obvious. Art should never be obvious. And when he said that, I'm like, this guy's low-key kind of spitting. Because like I feel like that's
damn, I want to see what he does. You know?
That's definitely the art. Yeah, exactly. Because that's the art I tend to engage with the most, where it's like it's not obvious where they're like spoon-feeding it to you, but
yeah,
a lot of stuff can definitely go over my head if it's like too abstract, you know?
Sure.
And so I like that fine line. And so when he said that, I'm like, it's kind of right, low-key. I agree with him.
I like the weird shit that's at like Phoenix Art Museum sometimes.
Yeah, that stuff is cool.
Where it's like, man, like that's just like it's just like a legal pad leaning up against a wall or something. You're like,
do you like that one
piece? Did someone leave this here?
Have you seen the banana like duct taped to the wall?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's funny just thinking about how did this get here, you know?
Yeah. It's like, did someone have like that kind of clout?
Dude, I saw a piece. I don't know if it was at Phoenix Art Museum.
It's good to recreate, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if it was at Phoenix Art Museum, but it was like, you know those like plastic grocery bags that just say like thank you a bunch of times?
Yeah.
It was that, but like really big. And that was the art piece.
Really big?
Like a really big plastic grocery bag. And it was like staged and looked like that, you know? And I was like...
Was it actually a grocery bag?
I don't know. I couldn't touch it.
Oh.
I don't know if it was like actually plastic or if it was a different material, but it looked
you just
exactly...
want to shake it a little?
I did. I want to like... I want to like get my hand in there. And just, yeah.
It's probably something that's just made to...
It's probably talking about the environment or something, or consumerism, something like that. But
yeah, sometimes they'll like make something and it's like a piece of wood or something, but it's like not wood, you know?
But even that's kind of impressive.
I'm like, wow,
you know?
They do that. It looks just like wood.
Or it'll be like,
or is it just a piece of wood?
It'll be a picture of something, and it's like, this is all made with quarters, and it's like,
yeah,
those are fucking quarters.
Mm-hmm. And then this next cover is like probably the best cover.
Yeah, pretty cool. Looks the scariest
ever. I don't know. It's pretty sick.
I like it a lot. Yeah,
best Daredevil because I've seen this cover. I've seen this before.
Yeah, I think I have all these covers actually.
I was definitely.
I'm gonna have to go look.
I was still new when this was coming out.
Yeah,
but I think I saw it before. But yeah, definitely. This also just kind of feeds into my love for like faceless characters. You know, where
name more.
Huh?
What are more faceless characters? Like Bloom?
Bloom's faceless, yeah.
Bloom's cool.
I think even like I guess people with masks kind of help because this is what he has.
Yeah, true. Or like a Deathstroke.
Like Mr. Negative? Yeah. Negative Man.
Negative Man.
Negative Man's a good one. You got like Rorschach.
Yeah, Rorschach's a good one.
Things like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
I'm just like, ooh, so mysterious. Who are they?
I also just noticed for the first time that in this cover, his like little art palette thing is Daredevil's face. And I thought it was just blood.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's to the side.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a piece of meat and some blood.
Piece of like
I mean, I guess it is. Like it's a piece of a face, but...
Yeah. Anyway, issue 14. So Daredevil has to like lock in and like figure out where
the colors on this page are sick.
They're unbelievable. Yeah, I think he does this a couple times in Charles Soule's run. This is like, I don't really like when he does this. He's like, let me lock in and hear everything. You know,
everyone shut up.
Yeah, pretty much. That's like what he's doing.
He it makes it seem like he sees infrared. You know?
Yeah. No, like I get the color effect. It does seem like that, like literally, but it's just funny to me that he can focus so hard that he sees more, and then like his nose starts bleeding and stuff. Like I don't know, there's something about that doesn't work for that, you know, for me. But
he's just taking like a real mean shit, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it gives off.
So it takes him to a warehouse where Muse like practices his art, and Muse has Blindspot tied up. And when Daredevil shows up, Muse is like, "I got your boy here," and then he pokes both of Blindspot's eyes out as a distraction and like kind of throws him down to Daredevil.
I don't know, out, but he like definitely like
he like pushes him a lot, whatever
yeah.
that, yeah, whatever you call that. What would you call that?
Smushed.
Smushes. He smushes Blindspot's eyes, to make. You know, honestly, I wonder if Blindspot. I wonder if this was like the plan for this character the whole time
to make Blindspot blind.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Charles Soule, you fucking genius. But Blindspot tells Daredevil, like, go chase him. I'll be fine right here, which leads them to where Muse has people like hanging upside down to like drain their blood. They're like still alive. So Daredevil stays to help them, and then luckily Muse gets caught by the Inhuman cops sort of on the roof, where they reveal Muse's gross ass face. It looks exactly like his mask, so not all going there. And then Sam tells Daredevil that saving all those people was worth it, which is a really nice moment, I feel like.
Yeah, Muse looks like a dead man.
He looks, like I wrote down the note, like his face just looks like what his mask looked like.
He looks like
right, but
the Batman character, like the Help.
He looks
like just super old.
He looks like when Darth Vader's mask gets like taken off.
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
But the fact that his mask looks like that and like his face looks like that, like they're kind of the same. I wonder if there's like a metaphor that he was going for there, where there's like nothing hidden sort of under the mask. It's just kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
But that's I don't really know what it is. I know there's something there, but I think that's partly why I like this book, is because it's not obvious.
It just reminds me of like
it's
when someone like takes off a pair of sunglasses and just more sunglasses. There's some wrestler.
I hope there's a moment like this in the show where they take off his mask and it looks exactly the fucking same.
There's like some wrestler meme where like he's got like this white mask. He looks like he's in like Slipknot or something, and he takes it off, and there's just another one.
That's good. That's a good bit.
Yeah,
it's always funny ones.
There's when Daredevil like crashes into the warehouse or whatever to save Blindspot, Muse is like with like a period.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's like Daredevil's like, here, or if he's like like he's actually scared or something, and that's just
this moment where he like smushes his Blindspot's eyes is crazy though.
Yeah.
I forgot, or like as soon as I read it, I was like, oh yeah, that was fucking crazy. But he's like blind now. And so that sucks. Cause
maybe he can recover. Maybe there's a way to fix his eyes or something.
There's something that happens.
Okay.
I can't remember what.
He gets new eyes.
There's an Inhuman that sees through a dog. And I really like that guy. He like has a dog companion. And
does
like
he control the dog companion? Like tell him where to go?
Yeah. And they're like, he's a good boy.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And then he did like, there's more powers that he has. But I just enjoyed that aspect of his character. And I think that's a Charles Soule created character. But
he's got some good ideas here.
And then this moment where we see like all the people kind of hanging upside down, that's pretty bizarre.
Those are people from the painting.
Yeah.
So
I guess he's planning to do more with that.
Because I guess his reasoning is for that he needs like fresh blood for painting. Because if it oxidates, it clots, and it just is hard to paint with. I guess
it's not good painting material. So
yeah.
And so that's the book. And let's go into Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters.
We didn't get shit.
Just a back page,
just the back page. So no back matter there.
It's gotta be crazy that like the back cover, it's like a different material than the pages on the inside. Like the outside of a trade.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I guess like
it's like a cardstock.
Yeah, the cardstock would have the last page on it.
But yeah, I guess so.
Or maybe it's like a blank page.
I think it's just a blank page that they took out of the digital edition. But
so is Muse like a one arc villain?
No, he comes back.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, this seems like
this isn't like
a
it
waste
for him, because he's not dead. But yeah, there's more of them.
Nice.
But I think this is a really good introduction for him. So it
definitely fleshes out like what he does in his like whole shtick.
Yeah,
and then just kind of sees him do his villainy for a little while.
Yeah, because when I saw him in the Daredevil trailer, I was like, oh yeah, that guy was cool. And then rereading this, I'm like, I'm pretty stoked to see what they do with him, because I think there's a lot that you can do with like the essence of this character that he's probably not going to be killing Inhumans in the show, but he's probably going to still be making like murderous art pieces, and I think that's cool. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. Yeah,
that might be something like this. I wonder if he's just going to be like
he could be a very small part, which I'd be kind of disappointed by.
I wonder. So IMDb shows the first season has 9 episodes, but then it has second season listed that also says 2025.
Damn, they're cooking.
So are they gonna like?
It's not. Maybe
there'll be like a little break, because I think they originally filmed like 18.
Oh yeah,
episodes
that's right.
Or something.
That's right.
So I think they rewrote
18's a lot,
but it seems kind of bloated with how much is in there, like in that trailer.
Yeah. So to fit all of that in 9 episodes, would make
it's like Muse would have like one episode maybe.
Yeah.
Because you got like the Punisher, you got Bullseye, you got Kingpin,
you got White Tiger,
Muse, and so it's a lot to work with.
Yeah, true.
It's also continuing what
and
has happened
Bullseye.
already. I
He's
said
back?
Bullseye. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hopefully, it's like a season one, part one, and part two kind of deal. I don't know if they've announced how it's gonna work, but
Yeah. Anyway,
excited to see it. So, what would you rate this book, Daniel?
I'd rate it. I love it. Of a Cherry Garcia. You know, like I know I like it, and I like the idea of it, and I know I'll like it if I like choose it. You know, and that's kind of how I am with like Daredevil in general. I think, like, I don't always put the time for it, but once I do, then I'm like, yeah, this is good stuff.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I don't think we've read a bad Daredevil thing. I don't know if there is any necessary like bad Daredevil runs.
There's a couple of trades in Charles Soule run where I was like, what are we doing?
Sure.
But
overall, pretty solid.
I think he's one of the best of like Daredevil writers that have been on it since I've been reading comics, you know?
Sure.
So, I mean, this is a gotta have it for me. I really like this trade. I think it's pretty strong. I like that it's ingrained in sort of Marvel continuity in a really natural feeling way. Good characters getting developed and character development for existing characters in the run. And it feels pretty self-contained for the most part. So, this has gotta have it. I'd probably go. It's like a black and red ice cream I could do. Is there any black ice cream?
No, but there's like
Maybe I'll do
cookies
like
and cream.
What if I do? I'll do a vanilla, but with like those like saucy cherries. You know, I'll do 2 cherries to make it look like the Muse
like
head.
a cherry puree kind of thing.
Yeah, and it'll make it feel like the Muse mask.
Cherry sauce.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I just put 2 cherries that are very saucy.
Sounds fire.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. So, yeah, great book. I recommend.
Good stuff. So let's get in the pull list. Colon.
Shove it in your box.
The pull list, the pull list. What did you shove in your box? Do you know what's coming out today?
Okay, I think so. Was Absolute Batman 5 last week?
That was this week.
That was this week?
Yes.
Was Batman 157 this week?
That was last week.
What the did I do then?
That's what you ordered.
Okay, so I ordered Absolute Batman 5,
Okay.
Absolute Superman 4.
That was last week.
Fuck. Green Lantern Corps number 1.
I don't know.
I think that's this week. Lucky Devils number 2.
Yeah.
And then The Moon is Following Us number 6.
Yep.
So that's the stuff that I ordered. Some of it's from last week, I guess. I don't understand how to order things online. I like to go into the store, but now there's none near me, and my life sucks. What'd you get?
Absolute Batman 5. I might get One World Under Doom. I might flip through it.
I'm just so uninterested in that.
Moon is Following Us 6. I might look through Bug Wars, which is like Jason Aaron's new book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get Lucky Devils 2.
Really?
And I Hate Fairland 20 comes out.
Whoa.
I've been getting that, but I haven't been reading it.
Yeah.
And then a couple issues ago, I saw that the story arc called Endgame is going on. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is the end of it.
It gets you.
Because the first run was 20 issues. So I think he's just doing 20 issue runs.
Okay.
And there isn't like a 21 that's
planned it.
Yeah, promoted or whatever.
Okay.
So I also dropped Absolute Batman 5 and The Moon is Following Us.
Wow.
Or Absolute Batman just
you
in general.
Dropped?
Yeah, like
so you're not going to get more like The Moon is Following Us?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I read Moon is Following Us 5, and there was like an interesting thing in that issue, but I think that, this trade ended at 5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure how long it's going. You might do 10?
10.
It is 10?
10 total, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. It's just like I read that, I'm like, all right, that's the arc.
You get an arc.
It's like a little... There's like so much happening. There's a lot of like war stuff that happens, and it's just kind of like boring to me.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a lot of
it can be hard to follow.
Crazy things. Like I get what's happening, but I don't know. I feel like it already could be like half the issues.
Yeah, true.
And be effective. I read Absolute Batman 4, which is that Gabriel Walta one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that artwork, and I like Walta. But this issue, I don't think really did anything for me story-wise. I think that could be a big drop-off in art for people who don't know Walta.
Yeah.
Just going from Nick Drago to Walta for a Batman thing could be kind of
well, okay, jarring. I haven't read it yet, but was it like a flashback issue or something? Or
there was some flashback stuff.
But some like current stuff too.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And so I don't know. I was also really tired when I was reading them, so I don't know. Maybe my
That happens too.
patience was at a minimum. I read Lucky Devils #1, and that one was fucking wordy.
It's a bit wordy.
I was like, okay, and
but like,
I was like, I see it, and the concept I get, and then is like good, but I don't think it's like for me.
yeah, I'm normally not a big hell guy either, or like stories that.
Not even that. It's just like the story is like set up. I wasn't like, oh man, can't wait for 2. You know?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think I was necessarily the same way, but I'm kind of interested in how the world kind of works because it looks like hell is just New York or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what does that look like for them?
Is.
And so I'm kind of interested to see how it progresses in issue 2, but I definitely think if it gets like any drier, it could be a drop for me.
Yeah.
So,
but Brian Brown art is really good.
He's so good.
So I'm like, dang, he did like a lot of work, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think that was a double size. Because it felt
I think it was a longer
long.
one. It was at least 30, I think.
Probably.
Cool.
What else did I read? I read Public Domain #6. And then I read Shirtless Bear Fighter 2, #1 through 3.
Okay.
And so,
is it good?
How much of that did you read? Any of it?
I didn't. I think I might have read the first issue, but I can't remember it.
I think you told me about the first issue because there's like gummy bears that he's fighting.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
It's really good. It's definitely going deeper in like
into Shirtless Bear Fighter
Bear Fighter lore, which I really like.
Okay.
And there's plenty of bear puns.
Cool.
The first
you
trade
think
is
they'd run out.
Huh?
You think they would have
Nope,
run out
it
of bear
keeps
puns?
going.
Okay, nice.
The first one is very surface level for like the concept and works so well in that. And then this one I think is what it's supposed to be, is going just kind of deeper into that and just figuring out what this dude's about.
Okay.
And it's good. The first issue's double sized, so that was like kind of not great for momentum, but the rest of them were like shorter as they go. Like the second was 30 pages. And I think the third one was 30 pages. So they're beefy issues. So like worth the price. But the whole trade is like 220 pages or something like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shirtless lore.
Yeah, it's like 7 issues.
His name is Shirtless, right?
Shirtless.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, you find it entertaining and
yeah,
stuff.
I like it. I think it's good.
Cool.
It's just like every issue, like some new character or some new concept is brought up, and I'm like, oh, that just works so perfectly for this, you know? So
well, maybe we'll get to the sequel for the show.
Did you let Ben borrow that trade?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he's the perfect person for that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's read it yet because he's been busy with school, but I'm going to ask him about it, actually. Cool.
Did you read your 7 issues, Nathan?
Dude, I tried so hard.
Oh my God.
I read 5.
5.
I read 5.
Dang, you owe me like 11 next week.
Oh, God. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Just read, just
It's
catch up
busy,
on Saga. Just
dude.
catch up on Saga, dude.
Oh, that's a good idea. Well, I was going to read Absolute Batman 3 and 4 today so I could get to 7 at least, but I couldn't. I worked late.
Fair enough.
But I read a couple #1s. I read Absolute Superman 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah?
It was okay.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, something about it, I was like, I wonder what Daniel liked about this. Like, I thought it was good.
I just thought it was so cool.
It is cool.
It's like
cool.
so like,
but it's not as like dude hell yeah cool. I think as like the other ones.
It's not as dude hell yeah, but it's so like.
But the
dystopian,
it is,
you know, and like all the different ideas that are thrown in there.
I think there are the most different ideas.
#2 isn't quite as good as 1, but I don't know. I just like when you're reading a Superman and you have like no expectations really.
Yeah.
Other than like what I said about it.
But I think
like,
I had high expectations because he liked it so much. But there's interesting stuff going on there, like the Peacemakers.
Yeah.
Like that whole sort of core is kind of interesting. And there's like Lazarus's life or whatever, but that's supposed to be like what it means is like peace and stuff. But then the military sort of taken it over and used it as a word for like, you know, war pretty much. So some of that stuff is cool. I don't really understand how the suit works. And I think we're not supposed to at this point. So that's fine.
Right.
I like Lois Lane in this. She's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think the Krypton stuff.
The Krypton
really
stuff is the most interesting Krypton stuff I think I've ever read.
Yeah,
because normally we don't. I feel like Krypton is something that they kind of go back to a lot to like re-explain how shit happened. And
Yeah.
it's always kind of reflective of what's going on, like in the times.
Mhm.
And I think this one's pretty effective for the times now because I think it has like a lot of parallels to us not treating our environment the way that we should be, or like being too reliant on certain technologies.
Yeah, it's kind of always been like a parallel.
Yeah,
But just kind of going deeper into that.
yeah, and I like that fucking Jor-El, like Kal-El's parents are just kind of like working class people.
Mhm.
So I think they do sort of twist around a lot of the ideas because, you know, Absolute Wonder Woman is kind of, for the most part, pretty similar, except for the fact that she was born in like hell and raised in hell.
Yeah.
And then Absolute Batman's pretty similar. He's like still in Gotham, except he just isn't really rich, you know?
Yeah.
But this one kind of takes like a whole sort of twist, and there's a good classism sort of thing. So I definitely like it.
And the art's so sick.
The art, oh my god, Rafa Sandoval is so good. He did like
baller.
he did a big chunk of New 52 Green Lantern.
Oh, did he?
And
that sounds awesome.
I fuck with it so hard. He's like one of my favorite Green Lantern artists.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm excited to see him doing like a really big thing. So I like that book. The book I liked the most this week that I read was New Gods #1.
Yeah.
That book is fucking.
Isn't it rule?
It's like it's just on such a different level than like all the other.
It's crazy.
Stuff.
Right?
I'm like, what the hell? It's so good.
It's like, take it easy.
Jorge Fornes is on the first couple pages, and I'm like, God, he's so good. You know?
And like, isn't it just exactly what you wanted it to be?
It is.
Like,
it's
you want to learn a little bit, and you want something that's like understandable, you know?
And like, New Gods is really intimidating,
mm-hmm.
and they're almost. I'd say they're kind of a little bit intimidating here, but as long as you're like along for the ride, you get everything you need to out of it.
Yeah.
But God, it's so cool, dude. It's
we go back and get some more Mr. Miracle. You know?
Yeah. And
like,
he's still got a baby.
Tom King and Mr. Miracle.
But it's like a different baby.
He's got a new baby.
So does he have 2 babies now, or did one baby die?
2 babies.
I didn't see the first baby.
Because
the first baby's like a boy, right?
Maybe I missed something. But yeah, it's Olivia Free.
Yeah.
Her name is like Live Free.
Live Free. Oh, that's good. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like the dilemma that Scott Free's put in. I like the aura of like Orion and Light Ray and shit like that.
Yeah, that family dynamic is cool.
I was reading it and I was like, this is so relieving that it's as good as as I wanted it to be, because in my head I was hyping it up a lot because I really like those two.
And it doesn't
creators.
like drag.
No.
Which it definitely has the right to, you know? So yeah.
Totally. So
very happy about that one.
He's a very good cosmic artist, and I'm super into that. So I recommend.
Issue 2, Evan Cagle or something?
Evan Cagle, yeah.
Yeah, he's a baller.
Yeah. Yeah, he got me like 150 likes.
Yeah.
Just by adding him and telling people that he's awesome. But anyway, so I read that. That was super fun. TMNT #6 I read, which I think came out last week or the week before.
So is that the first one of the...
I don't know.
Like, series? Who's the artist on it?
Juan Ferreira?
Yeah, I think he's like the regular.
Okay.
So I think that's...
Interesting.
Are they all together?
All the turtles are together.
Okay, so yeah, that's like technically like the first issue as far as like that arc.
I think that's cool. It's not as like stylized as some of the other art, like the first 6 issues.
It's like pretty straightforward. No,
I would say he feels the most like Kevin Eastman.
Oh, cool.
In a sense where when the turtles are like fighting, they got like their teeth out and they're like, "Arr," like kind of looking.
You gotta be like, "Arr."
And like, so they look cool.
They're always angry.
And they got like this weird like, you know, Kevin Eastman style. So I think it works for the book. But you know, he actually is really good. Some of the coloring I think could be a little bit brighter.
Okay.
But for the most part, the whole book's like going on at night, and they're kind of jumping around New York trying to avoid the Foot Clan. So maybe jumping on that a little bit more. But I like the story.
Cool. That's important.
So I think it's cool. I like it. I'm gonna keep going with it. I read the Seasons #1.
Oh yeah.
Which is the Rick Remender, Paul Zacetta one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is Paul Zacetta.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's awesome.
He's very good.
And I've only seen him do like scary or like gritty or grounded stuff, I guess.
He was on Outcast, yeah.
He's on like Outcast. He's did a lot of Jason Aaron's Punisher. So a lot of like kind of depressing stuff. And this is more of a Tintin inspired kind of story.
Mm.
So a lot of it's kind of just following this news or this letter courier trying to deliver a letter, and it keeps like getting caught by a gust of wind, and then it lands on someone's face as they're like on a bicycle or whatever, and she's trying to like grab it, and it's like it's really really fun, but there's like a weird eerie part of it, and fucking there's the colorist. I gotta look it up. He's good. He's like, it's not Matt Wilson, but the other one, Matt Hollingsworth.
Oh, Hollingsworth.
He's great
good
as well. So the book visually is very cool and refreshing, and there is a mystery. I just don't know if I'm going to pick up the next one. So,
Sure.
and then that's all the stuff I read.
Noise. Did you watch anything?
I watched Invincible, first 3 episodes.
First 3?
Yep.
Dang, dude, it was gas.
It is pretty gas. I'm a Cecil fucking believer.
Apologist.
I'm a Cecil apologist, dude. Everything he's doing, I'm like, that makes sense.
When you're reading that book, like all the villains and like kind of all like those people of like power, you're always like, all right, it's kind of fucked up. I like get it, you know? And so it's kind of, you're always like, but you're like, oh, but Invincible, he's like the main guy. He's got a point.
Like so I agree that he should know that Mark is nice, but then he thought Omni-Man was nice, and so he can't really take that risk again. He's making a calculated sort of decision.
Yeah.
And then, but I do agree with what people are saying, where like he puts this contingency plan in place, and then he just uses it as soon as he like can. Yeah. It's not like a last resort. He fucking whips that shit out as soon as he can, and he sticks all the people on him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's good. I think this has a better start than like season 2 did, where they're kind of mourning the loss of like Omni-Man or just what happened.
Yeah.
So I think this is cool.
I like that beginning of like the 3rd episode where they're showing like the villains and like their life and like why they're robbing banks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I was like, damn, this is deep. And then
I know,
they just
it's
get
sad.
punched in the fucking face.
It's really funny because those are the guys that were in the first season, right? And that big sort of with the techno guy, whatever his name was, and like that Battle Beast scene.
Yeah, it was like, what was his name?
I don't know, the auto-tune gangster guy.
Yeah, like
So I like them. I like their design a lot. I don't really know how their powers work, and I'm like, damn, they didn't even really want this life, to be honest, but they're forced to do it, and then they just get punched in the face.
Yeah,
so that's a good start.
They tried an honest life.
Do you think that there's like some criticisms being thrown around about the animation looking a little bit stiff? What do you think about that?
I think the animation's better than season 2, but I feel like season 1 is like the best animation, and it definitely has room for improvement.
Yeah.
But possibly it's because like it's an all celebrity cast kind of thing, so it could be like expensive to keep that up.
True.
What I noticed is like when they're in like the White Room and he's fighting all the Reanimen, like that's like a bloody fucking scene. Like I remember like how bloody it was like from the comics.
Oh, and it's not as bloody here.
Yeah, it is like bloody, but just like the splatter and
like
shit
a standard blood
is definitely like a next level up. And so when that's like held back, that like
kind of sucks.
Yeah, it can knock off a point of why I liked the book so much, because it's just ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, and like that's an opportunity where you can get super bloody because he's not really holding back.
Yeah.
These people are already kind of dead and things that he hates. I just think I think it is like a little bit stiff. So I can tell when they're like when there's not action, they're just kind of like a little bit stiff. But then there's points where you could tell that they really lock in, like that like Cecil flashback, and his like face melts off. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, they really like toned it together for this part. And I think for the most part that's fine. But I will still think about how like kind of weird it is in between those parts. But it doesn't bother me as much as it seems to bother other people.
Yeah, I mean, you're there for like the story mostly.
Yeah, for the most part.
So
what's going on? Oliver is doing some shady shit.
Yeah. Sarah, she's like, I like those guys. I'm like, the Muller twins? He's like, yeah, they're fun.
I like that too.
I just didn't expect my wife to say that about these characters that keep coming back.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, I think these guys are here like the whole run. I like couldn't remember. And then Oliver like fucking kills them. I'm like, oh, maybe not.
They might just come back. They seem to just
they might get
randomly,
like cloned again somehow or something.
Yeah.
But
Oliver fucking kills them. So yeah, I mean, this is past what I've read in the comic, so I'm just kind of along for the ride at this point. But it's cool.
Do you like the new suit?
Dude, no.
No?
I don't really like it. I like the yellow and blue sort of contrast.
The black lens kind of adds a darkness to it, and the bright colors is definitely a good touch.
I've always wondered like when he changes his suit, and it makes sense because he's kind of reinventing himself a little bit and how he operates.
They didn't do it exactly like the book, because in this black and blue suit, he has like full gloves, like he doesn't have the fingerless gloves, and that was something that really pissed off fans when he had that, because they really
full gloves.
Yeah,
they like the fingerless gloves.
They like the fingerless gloves, but in this one,
I don't think I've ever heard anybody defend fingerless gloves.
Yeah, and then also his boots are different. Like his boots like went up to like his knees, and he had like kneecap or he had like knee.
Oh yeah, kneecap things.
Yeah, kneecap things. But now he doesn't. They just kind of look like long socks.
Mm.
So
I think that would help, honestly, if they
it-
had that aspect of it in the show.
right. Well, they do in the OG costume, the kneecaps and whatnot. But in the new design in the book and in the show, it's just the long sock look.
Yeah, I think
so
I want the kneecap design is what I'm
Right,
saying.
right.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's like satisfying to go back to the old one because you got the kneecaps, you
Oh,
got the
yeah.
fingerless gloves.
Yeah, I think just to break up the black is kind of important, and I feel like the yellow and the blue did that pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good design in general. So
And
I hope he goes
people
back.
are like, they're calling him Invincible or something like that. And like, that's Invincible. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, I like the Adam Eve relationship. I always knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, it still feels like I feel like we're further in the story, but like their relationship hasn't gotten as far as it
Wasn't like
I
the
thought
book.
they were at this point.
Yeah,
Because it is definitely for the rest of the time,
Mhm.
I think. And so that is like a very strong relationship. It's like a Peter Parker, Mary Jane kind of thing,
Right.
So,
Mhm.
but she gets it.
She does, and on the alien, pretty fun as
Goated.
always.
Yeah.
And he looks buff,
And
and he knows
like,
it.
They like try to kill him. Like, it didn't work.
He's like, they're gonna shoot a big laser at me later.
Yeah.
I hope I
Iron
make
Man's
it.
like, you survived?
Yeah. So that's cool. I'm excited where this is going, and hopefully some crazy shit happens soon because it doesn't feel like anything that crazy has happened. I didn't really care for much of like the villain that caught all the superheroes and they were underground. There's big bugs.
Doc Seismic.
Doc Seismic. Yeah, I didn't really care for him that much. But
It's
other
more,
than that was the only weak
him
part.
as like a character isn't that exciting, but just like
Like I know we've seen
with
him
enough planning, it can be like kind of interesting.
Yeah, I know that like he was in this first or second season somewhere, and then he fell into the lava. And so it's cool to see that he's like come back and was able to do this big heist thing. But for the most part, I was like, this is a little weaker for me. But
yeah,
I'm excited to see where it goes.
I watched more of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Okay.
So they dropped the first 2 episodes at like the premiere date, and then this week they dropped 3 episodes.
What the fuck?
And then I guess next week they're dropping another 3 episodes.
Wow,
And so
what a weird release schedule.
I'm like, is no one watching this or something?
Maybe they just wanted it to be wrapped up by like Captain America by the time Captain America comes out.
Maybe. So I watched the rest of the
Second drop.
episodes, the second drop,
Mhm.
and they're cooking like a little less with this one. There's like a character who's like someone who goes to his school and is like gets wrapped up in like gangs and stuff. And there's this like
Is
gang.
it Amadeus Cho?
No,
Hmm.
but there's this like gang war thing that happens, but like there's no guns in the show, so they're just like fist fighting everybody.
Dude, a fist fight gang is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, this just reminds me of like, remember like Static Shock, that show
Yeah.
where there was like gangs and stuff,
Yeah.
but no one was shooting anybody really.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And they're just fighting. Well, they were like mutant gangs or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just kind of funny. I'm like, because like the gang that he's in is scary, like the situation that he's putting himself in,
Oh, yeah.
and who runs it and all the people and stuff like that. But then when they're fighting and they're just punching each other, it was just kind of weird.
It feels very like just elementary school sort of
Yeah,
scrap.
I'm like,
maybe.
there's guns in the MCU, but I guess this is like a kid show or whatever, so less gun violence, I imagine.
I don't know. Put guns. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Expose them to the real world. They can handle it.
You watch anything else?
I watched Hereditary.
Ooh,
This is-
spooky
this is
movie.
a very spooky movie.
Yeah.
One of the movies that you recommended me on some time ago. It's on a list on Letterboxd that you gave me.
Sure is.
I knocked another one of those out this week.
Would you rate it, Nathan?
On Letterboxd, I rated it 4.5.
Wow.
There
Good.
is a dead dog at the end, so it couldn't be a 5-star for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's like the top 3 scariest movie I've ever seen in my life, I think.
Yeah, no, it's scary.
I didn't think. I thought it was so. I've only seen Midsummer from Ari Aster. I'm pretty sure, unless I've seen some other random movie from him.
Did you see Beau is Afraid?
No,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I heard that was bad, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think some people like it.
Yeah, but so I since I've seen Midsummer, I was like, this will probably be like more disturbing than scary. But it was definitely more scary than disturbing. But it was definitely a little bit of both.
Yeah, Midsummer is like an interesting
it's not like
turn, but then
yeah.
was also fire, you know?
Yeah, I also didn't know anything about this movie, which
That's fucking cool.
yeah,
Because
which
I
is
see tons of clips, you know?
well, I think I've like seen just random, I don't know, like random snippets, but really I didn't know anything. I know that the just like two actors pretty much that were in it, and I'm like, okay. And I knew I was gonna watch it eventually, so I tried to stay away from it. But it's awesome going in blind.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't know spoilers, I guess.
If you haven't seen like one of the best scary movies in the last 10 years,
go fucking see it if you like scary movies. It's like definitely needed, but I didn't expect it to go spiritual or like demonic or anything. So just the fact that it did that and did it so well without it seeming weird is pretty fucking cool.
Toni Collette was going off.
She is so good.
She's incredible.
When she is like miserable after her kid dies, it feels very uncomfortable.
I believe it. Yeah.
It's like, I think Ari Aster just likes showing people mourn.
Like women screaming.
Like, yeah, but like mourn, but like in the hardest way possible. Because in the beginning of Midsommar, Florence Pugh does that, and it's terrible to watch, you know? I just feel bad. I feel bad. I'm like, what an awful fucking situation. So it feels terrible. And then I think in this movie, it's probably the best I've ever seen a movie build up tension.
Yeah.
Constantly. Throughout the whole movie, it's building up tension. And then in like little moments, it builds up tension and explodes out in like the biggest possible moments, from like, you know, when Charlie's head gets fucking knocked off to like random, you know, spiritual moments. And then there's naked people in your house and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then that all kind of comes together. It's awesome. And then when like Toni Collette's character gets possessed and is like really not
one of the most
oh my god,
most terrifying imagery like ever.
And
when I think when I'm in a dark place, I'm like, she's in here somewhere.
I saw it with Sophie, who doesn't really like scary movies that much.
I'm shocked she watched it,
dude. She like couldn't go to bed.
That's what
She was like fucked for that night. She couldn't get any sleep.
Sleep with the light on.
I actually felt terrible because I was like, I can't do anything. The damage is done, you know? So I was like, what do I do? And then I just fell asleep, you know? Your
relationship's so funny that you just keep putting her through this. And
she wants to see it.
She's a game, but she shouldn't be.
She shouldn't be, dude. This is the shit that she fucking hates. There's no jump scares in this movie, which I think she hates the most.
Which is powerful to how like still well regarded it is.
It's so impressive because it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen, and there's nothing pops out at you, you know?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. I don't understand what her job is, the mom. She like makes miniature sculptures of random places and
maybe,
you know, stuff like that. And then I had a little bit of trouble understanding fully what happened at the end, but I was kind of talking it back and forth. And so parts of that, I'm like, well, then how did that happen, sort of deal. So
yeah,
because
it's more like along for the ride. I don't know, you have to necessarily think about it that much.
Yeah, I just think that everything that happens in it is really cool. So top 3
top
3 scary movies, probably like that. I really like Long Legs. I don't know if it's like a top 3 after we watch it. I think maybe like Talk to Me is one of the better ones, I think. Also, what's good about this movie is that I had no idea where we were going, like how deep they were going to take the spiritual shit. If they were even going to take that somewhere, or if it was going to be like or if she was actually just kind of like sick in the head. I was like, they could go that route and it's like all in her head kind of deal. Like I had no idea. And then when it all unravels, it's like, oh, this is actually like a fucked up cult demon thing. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Pretty good list so far.
Good list. So far, I've liked all the movies you recommended.
Nice. Excited to see what you watch next.
I'm excited to see if I watch something that you recommended me and I just hate it. I don't hate a lot of movies, to be fair, but
I don't think so. I only put them on there because I think you should watch them.
Yeah.
Or I think like anyone should watch them, you know?
Yeah.
I watched We Live in Time.
That's the Florence Pugh one?
Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a A24 sad movie. Sarah really wanted to watch it. Yeah. I don't know why. I think she saw a clip or something. That's normally why she watches things.
Dude, Sophie's been doing that too. She'll watch like 3 like split TikToks of a scene in a movie, and she like knows movies that way now. The way that she discovers movies is works. Fucking bizarre.
It's mostly TikTok, so
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's what my watch list is full of mostly. And so this is one that she wanted to watch, which doesn't happen often, and she didn't think I wanted to watch it. But I'm like, I know the actors, and I heard it was good, so
yeah,
it's like non-linear, which is fun because you kind of know what's going to happen like throughout the movie, but because it's non-linear, it's not like it's building up, to inevitable end kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of jump around this relationship. It's definitely sad, but like not in a cheap way, to where like hits you with a scene that's kind of obvious for like a sad movie.
Okay.
Florence Pugh has like cancer in it.
Yeah.
And so in their relationship, and they're kind of going through that. What like makes it sad is it makes you care about the characters like a lot, to where that makes like the circumstances like sadder.
Yeah.
In a way.
Didn't Andrew Garfield like lose his memory or something?
In the movie?
In the movie, yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
He doesn't forget who she is?
No.
Is that a different movie that came out recently with him and Florence Pugh? I swear that happened.
Forgets who she is.
Yeah, he like I remember seeing in some preview, Andrew Garfield wakes up and he's like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" to like Florence Pugh. Those are the two characters in the movie, right?
Yeah. The two actors in the movie.
Two actors, sorry. Were they
maybe it was
in a different movie together?
I don't think so. Because
I think you're just forgetting a part of the movie.
I heard
I've definitely seen it.
I listened to like an interview with like the director, and they didn't know each other, but like Florence Pugh is like the first pick, for the character.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, interesting.
Yeah, anyway. maybe it's someone completely different that you're thinking of.
Dude, I'm gonna have to find it. That's bizarre to me.
So they're both like British actors, and they're like the movie's based in London, and I think this is the first thing I've seen of both of them where they're just allowed to be British. Yeah,
everything I've seen them in, they're pretty American.
Yeah, so that was a good aspect of it.
Yeah,
and yeah, pretty good. I give it like 3.5, borderline 4, but like a strong 3.5. I don't really go for sad movies, but the fact that I liked it so much as a sad movie, actually I kind of like sad movies.
I'll watch a sad movie.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd be like, oh, you need to see this, but if you're like interested in it, then yeah, go for it. I think it's good.
Yeah,
it's still got like an A24 quality to it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of sad movies because I think Sophie's way more empathetic than I am, so it'll hit her a lot harder.
Yeah. I think I'm more empathetic than Sarah.
Yeah.
So there was like a scene that I was like getting teared up at. I'm like, no, this is gas de macho or whatever.
We're gonna fight it off.
But it like wasn't even like a sad part. It was more like showing like how in love they are. That just kind of made me more sad for what happens,
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe I was the only person who got teared up at that part, who knows?
Sometimes it just hits that way.
Yeah. But Nathan, what are we going to read next week? What are we going to read next week?
That's a good question, Daniel. What do we got lined up?
So we got some...
What's going on in the world next week?
Not much. So we got some open time. I think we could start a themed month, Nathan.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do a war comic month?
Okay. War comic month? I think so, because we haven't done a single war comic. Really?
Yeah, I guess not.
What other theme months were we thinking?
We got a lot of themes. We could do a New 52 month.
Okay.
We could do a murder mystery month. We could do westerns.
Uh-huh.
We could do a pet month. Pet comics.
Ooh, pet month is a good idea.
A giant robot comics.
Oh, that's such a good idea too.
Valiant month.
Valiant month.
Video game comics.
I like that idea too.
Crossover comics. Crime comics.
Let's
weird shaped books.
I forgot about that because there's that like weird Brian K. Vaughan one, right?
Private Eye.
Private Eye.
That's on the list.
That's a funny.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I don't want to do video game, but when we do, I want to be prepared to invite some people.
Okay.
Because like Parker's big into Halo, and
there's a Halo comic. Yeah.
So
you want to invite someone for the Fortnite comic?
I know Serena's really big into Fortnite.
We gotta have her on.
She would love it actually. So yeah, I think I'm down with either war comics or big robot comics.
I think I'm more in the
sometimes
mood.
they're one and the same.
I think I'm more in the mood for war comics.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so we're gonna start with the
We have
other
like
side.
4 weeks uninterrupted, but I only have like 3 giant robot books.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
we'll do the 4.
Yeah, let's do war for the month, and then so what books are we gonna do?
So there's a book that has been selling quite a lot recently
Okay.
for circumstances. It's called We Stand on Guard.
Mm-hmm.
It's by Brian K. Vaughan,
Oh, cool.
and it's set in 2112 in a far future
That hasn't happened yet.
that where only you could imagine it in this time zone, where America goes to war with Canada.
No way.
And so yeah, that had a spike in sales recently.
That sounds great.
You want to
Who's
try
the
that?
art on it?
Let me look it up.
We Stand on Guard. Yeah, I've seen that around.
If I show you the cover, you'll be like, "Oh." So this is the trade cover.
No. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I've seen that actually.
No. So
But yeah,
Steve Scrose is the artist. Matt
Okay.
Hollingsworth on colors.
Ooh, good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that. Should we say what the other war comics are going to be coming up, or I know we have them down, but
Ooh, dude, is there a giant robot in this?
Wait.
That's the number one.
oh my god, it's a gyro. Okay, I'm in.
We'll do both.
We got him, baby.
So on my list, we have We Stand on Guard. We got Sheriff of Babylon.
Yep.
So that'd be a
Vertigo.
Vertigo book. We got Punisher Platoon,
Oh yeah.
which is
Yep.
Marvel. And then we have The Other Side
Mhm.
by Jason Aaron.
Yep.
I don't know who published that, but that's
I think that was also Image, but I could be wrong.
probably.
Cool.
Sound
That
good?
sounds good. I'm excited to read that.
Cool.
So we'll catch you next week for the beginning of War Month.
Yeah.
And let us, if you want to reach out to us, you can email us at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com.
Like, comment, subscribe,
comment,
stuff like that.
subscribe, do
Link in
that.
the bio.
A 5-star goes a long way. Let us know what your favorite Daredevil comic is.
Yeah. Your favorite run.
Favorite run.
Yeah. Who's the best?
Who has the best long run? You know, by long run, I mean over like 20 issues.
I know we haven't read it.
Yeah, we haven't. I mean, Zdarsky's out there. You got to put his name up there.
Brubaker.
What's that meme where he's like, okay, first I got Kobe or LeBron. And then second, it was like, no, Kobe.
Kobe's my 2.
Kobe's my 2. Yeah. For me, like, Zdarsky's my 2. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Who's your number 2? Let us know.
You said the email?
And email us. Yeah, I did say it.
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
All right, bye.